Thank you, Michael. Going back through the Kansas State game, again, I was very pleased with just the overall competitiveness of our team and focus and the way we played. Kansas State, always a difficult place to play with their crowd and energy and all of that, and our guys really responded, handled it well, along with the weather. Being cold and what isn't talked about a lot, there's probably a 20-mile-per-hour wind that needed to be, that affected some things. And I thought for the most part we really handled it all pretty well. Offensively, we ran the ball consistently throughout the day. Anytime you rush for 300 yards, Brennan Clay had 200. We played really well in that part. I thought Trevor Knight coming in and starting again threw the ball very well and had a great start with our first drive with some really tight throws, and that was a big spark for us and a +2. The players of the game were our offensive line. Trevor Knight and Brennan Clay were the players of the game. Thought Aaron Ripkowski also with that offensive line did a great job blocking throughout the day. Defensively, we were great against the run, which we felt would be a major part in winning this game. We didn't want to give up the big plays, give their guy credit. Tyler Lockett just beat us in coverage a couple, 3 times in some big plays. That's the bad part of the day, but we did feel, our opportunity to win would be in being great against the run game. They averaged 1 yard per rush, I think, and we averaged 6 yards per rush. So that's always a big factor. We were great in 3rd and 4th down conversions. On offense, I think we were 10 of 17, and they were 3 of 9 on 3rd and 4th down. So again, that's another big part of the game. And then we get a turnover for a touchdown on defense. Zach Sanchez made a huge play to really separate us in the game and there in the 4th quarter. Special teams, I thought, did another good job with Jalen Saunders with a huge punt return in an unusual way, just in that they were punting into the wind. The punt was so short, he realized there was a big hole up there, he could get it. He had a great jump on the ball and made a huge play there to set up another touchdown. So the turnover battle is always a big issue. We won that, like I said, with 2 picks. The one pick we throw, it's just a miscommunication with the receiver. The receiver needs to break in front of that defender and protect that ball, get it or protect it, and he broke off the route, so we had a miscue there. But again, just feel good to win a good game there at Kansas State, a team that had won 4 straight games, and proud of our guys, the way they responded. We were down, I think, 7 starters in the game, so had to overcome all of that with special teams, and different guys had to step up, and we were able to do it for the most part. This week, leading into the following week's game with Oklahoma State, we will practice Monday through Wednesday, and then we will give the players off through the weekend to be with their families for Thanksgiving, and we'll regroup here Sunday late afternoon, and then get into our normal Monday through Friday week.
And the post-game video that the athletic department put out of you celebrating, of the team celebrating the locker room after the win, you seemed genuinely surprised that you were awarded a football that recognized that. I mean, was it just so far in the back of your mind?
I know people don't believe that. It truly was. I had forgot about it. I was just sitting there enjoying the win, giving out game balls to my guys who played well, to the players, and then Joe comes up and then it hits you again. So it isn't something that I was at all focused on. So it did surprise me that that Joe had a ball there, and then the players. I wanted to be able to celebrate it with them, and it isn't something that's I'm not comfortable with, but they deserve a chance to laugh and throw me around and toss me around a little bit, and so I said, hey, have at it, and then it's done. But so. To acknowledge it, I will say, again, I feel incredibly fortunate and blessed to have been supported and at a school like Oklahoma for these 15 years with the same administration all these years, a great group of young men I've been able to coach, and coaches, assistants that have all had a hand in this, my secretaries, our trainers, our managers, our team doctors. It's a big team of people that help get it done, and they've all, so many of them also have had a great hand in all of this. So, and I'll finish by saying there's still only one king, and that's Coach Switzer. So he's the only one that knows how to wear that crown.
You mentioned all the starters out. How bad, I guess, do you guys need a week off to kind of recuperate?
We need one about as much as anybody, to hopefully we can rest some guys up this week and get them back for the following week. I don't know the status of really anyone today just yet, but so we'll see, as we go through the week.
Could you address Damian Williams and the Colton Bester situation?
Yeah, Damian Williams has been removed from the football team, so he's no longer a member of the team, and Colton Bester served a one-game suspension last week.
After the game, Trevor indicated that not only was he excited about what the offense did in this game, but he thought that there's so much more offense to bring to the field. The guys seemed generally excited about this game and what it could do for the future.
Well, it's just one game, but we have to, hopefully we can build on it. I think what's been obvious through the whole year has been the inconsistency, offensively. So, we put a few here together now, and I think, in Kansas State is a good defensive football team too, and they've shown that. But we executed well, and I think that sometimes there isn't any magic to an offense. It's the blocking, the timing, the execution. Players making it happen, and they did that, in a good way here, this past weekend.
The fact that Rip had such a big game, with Millard out, you think, boy, it's going to be hard to replace, and
yeah.
It is hard to replace, but.
Yeah, Aaron's a little bit different style than Trey. Trey, could do so many other things, but you got to give Aaron has been really, really physical and playing strong and playing well. So he's really stepped up and contributed in a great way.
Now, he was getting what percentage of plays, Bob? Wasn't he playing a lot when Trey was there?
Yeah, just he was in different ways with Trey, in the backfield in our three back sets Trey would be on the line and he'd be off the line. So he had been playing some. You just don't have the two of them now together.
But I guess Green played 8 or 10 snaps.
Yeah,
what's different now? Because you did have the two of them there, so you've had.
Well, it isn't different. They're just in different spots. Brandon goes in a little bit more now, and Aaron's in some places where Trey might have been before. So we're trying to make it work with the two of them in some of our bigger sets where we're trying to, you're run and play actioning.
You've addressed Trevor's improvement as a passer since perhaps earlier this season. Has he improved in the run game as well with the read option? Is he a little more comfortable?
Definitely. It's like anything. The more you do it, the more comfortable you become at it and confident with it. And that there's a time or two where, like I said, the read may be to give it, but he feels the guy's tight enough, the confidence I can run away from him, even if he is giving me a give read. And those are some things, as the more he does it, the better he's getting at it.
Bob, how good do you think he is at, it seems like he has a great feel for the option and getting to the second level, the acceleration, decisiveness.
Yeah,
would you get into that?
Yeah, he's a great athlete. I think it's obvious as soon as you see him pull the ball down and run is how fast he is. He's got great speed and quickness, and those are some things that allow him to separate from people and to make big plays like he's made. So we just got to get it, continue to work the consistency of it all.
You're averaging 8 yards of carry, I think, in the last 6 quarters, and have had a lot of explosive run plays since he was put back in at quarterback. Is any of that attributed to what he gives you there?
I think because his ability to pull the ball and make something happen out on the edge puts more stress on the defensive players, definitely, and their spacing and where they're going to defend. like I said, they may have a guy there for him, but if there's enough room, it's a foot race, and a good bit of the time he's going to win that foot race. So it does put pressure on him and changes things for the defense. And then with him in there, we go to it more because he's more effective with it.
Can you envision, I mean, he played a great game, Trevor did. Conceivably, he could play 2 more good ones. Can you envision having a starter going into the spring?
I'm just trying to get to Thanksgiving, Clay, so you know.
The way everything's broken, you guys still have a shot at getting a share of the Big 12 title. Is that maybe an extra carrot going in this week?
You know, you just you're fighting every week the same. You know, so we're, you know, win or lose, you're constantly just trying to win the next one, and that's what we'll do this week.
But with everything that's happened this year,
yeah. I mean, but does it make you want it more? You want it as much as you can want it, right? That's what we want. We want to win. So, you know, there's still, you know, games to be played. So we'll see what happens.
Bob Lockett had a great first half. Aaron seemed to match up with him a lot in the second half, maybe flipping sides and things. Was it just him, or did you guys come up with something else to try to bracket him?
No, yeah, you know, when you're Kansas State with all their run game and all the quarterback run game and all, you don't have a chance to double cover people and so no, we just, Aaron played, you know, we just had Aaron on him more in the second half and did our best to match him up with him and Aaron was playing banged up but still really fought, really proud of him. He really made a big difference in the game.
Did he come to you guys and say, just leave me out there, or did you guys kind of?
Well, we kind of told him, you know. So some of the players of the game, defense, Gabe Lynn was our player of the game. Special teams, Jalen Saunders. Michael Honeycutt, again, was perfect on the day with wind conditions. I told you the offensive guys, I guess, so.
Lynn seems to have made a big step this season.
He's played great. He definitely. Yeah, Gabe has had a great year, tackling, physical. You know, he's got, I don't know, I want to say 3 interceptions maybe. You know, Gabe been our quarterback back there, really getting everybody on the right page. So he had another really good game here this weekend.
What's Blake's status?
Unsure yet, I said. Yeah, so we'll see.
If Blake is healthy, will Trevor be the guy in the Oklahoma
Well,
State
we'll
game?
find out once he's healthy. So I won't know that till after Thanksgiving. So
Oklahoma State, when you watch them, their defense seems to have improved quite a bit this year. What do you see from them that's maybe different from the
yeah, very excellent defense and very sound structurally and how they do everything. You know, they make you work. They play tight coverage. You know, in the secondary, and they got good players, you know, that are making plays. So, you know, again, I appreciate good, sound, fundamental football is what you see. So it isn't some magic scheme. They just, you know, they're playing really strong fundamentally in how they're playing their positions.
Bob, you were short one starter going into the game of the offensive line. Then you lose a tackle. But they seem to hold up pretty well. Did they grade it as well as you thought? Because it looked like they had big holes.
Well, they were players of the game. The offensive line was. Nila Kazatati, you know, came in and played more. And so all those guys came in and did a nice job. Derek Forniak came in at tackle and did well at his time in there. So, yeah, they they handled it.
Savage, is he the biggest lineman you ever had?
Deontay?
Savage?
Yeah, he's massive.
Bob, can you talk about the offense, and it's maybe not complete change in schemes, but it's been an odd year because you had a starter, Blake came in and did well, then he gets hurt, it kind of goes back to more run. It's been odd.
Well, it's been because your quarterbacks are a little bit different in how they run the ball, and so it needed to be a little bit different. In the end, you know, Blake came in and when he got his opportunities and threw the ball really well, you know, early part of the year. You know, so that was a little bit more of what we've been used to here, or maybe the fans have been. But I still, you know, I feel and then as he gets, you know, and then that was a little bit inconsistent. There were some games where we didn't play so well. And, you know, and then Trevor gets back in there, and he can do a few different things the way with his feet, and we took advantage of it. And now it's worked a little bit. So we're trying to play to our players' strengths, and it's not always easy to do when you're in the middle of the year and going through the year. But again, I still feel each of them. I still feel confident in Trevor's ability to throw the football when in our traditional passing game, and that's and Blake's ability to do it as well. So we just have to keep trying to find what they're comfortable with the most.
Is there any part of you that kind of enjoys the cloak and dagger aspect of putting Blake out there in warm-ups and when you know he's not going to play? Because you're out there talking to Bill before the game starts.
I told him not to, and then I guess Coach Heupel wanted him to. So I said, no, we got to Saturday, just get warm. And then I looked, and he was going out to warm up, so not a big deal.
So when you're talking to Coach Snyder on the field before the game, has he tried to hit you up to see?
No, I'm sure he probably figured it out.
I assume that you watched the OSU Baylor game Saturday night. What did OSU do to slow down that offense?
A couple. They played good fundamental defense. They got off. They were great on possession downs, and their offense stayed on the field. I think 10 minutes longer than they did. That'll win for you.
What other coaches call you Bobby besides Coach Snyder?
Coach Snyder, Coach Spurrier.
Coach Fry?
Coach Fry, Barry Alvarez, Dan McCarney. Guys, when I was a player, that was actually on my shirt, believe it or not. My wife said when I took the job here, she goes, why did all of a sudden you become Bob Stoops? My wife calls me Bobby. My family, well, most of them call me Bobby. So.
How do you think of yourself?
Yeah, you like that better?
I thought we were going to start doing
no. It's like I'm up here. It's a different guy, It's
Brennan struggled with some injuries early in his career. This year, maybe wasn't getting the ball as much as he wanted at one point. He comes out and he just seems to have a really strong ability to stick with it when things maybe aren't going.
Brennan is a fabulous student athlete, player. Consistent, positive in every way for us. You can always rely on him, and he has shown this year. I think he's in the top 2 or 3 in our league in yards per carry, and he's done it over and over. And he's got a great pace to him, he had great vision to find the right spaces. He had some great ones the other day where he just waited long enough, and there it was, and so he's had a great year.
Project, his long ball ability. I mean, he's had a lot of long runs. He's kind of a patient runner.
No, not really. I mean, you don't see him getting caught. He has excellent speed. I think we've done a better job as a team blocking downfield and allowing in some of the design of our runs too, and the quarterback's ability to run to help split people a little bit, where it's given us some big opportunities.
Is that relationship between a quarterback and a running back with Trevor running the offense, is there something to that, more of a chemistry that?
There's a feel to it, the two of them they did a great job of just being responsible with the ball. And a few of them, you see Trevor pulled it out late and made a play with it. And so, yeah, there's probably fair to say there is a little bit of feel to it with guys.
When Trevor had the one touchdown where he faked it, and he almost like he took a double take and it froze the defender to him. Was that on purpose on his own, or was he trying to make sure he had the football? Do you remember?
Yeah, I know it was down on the north goal line. I think he was shocked that the guy was still there. And then the guy didn't believe what he saw and chased in, and then Trevor went around the corner with it. So, yeah, got fortunate on that one.
Can you talk about the OSU offense, and is there anyone you compare them to? Seems like they've gotten the running game going the last few weeks.
Yeah, just you know, and they're throwing it well too. Clint is throwing it well. They've got, you know, excellent receivers out wide, so they try and space you out, but they'll you know, they're doing a great job, I think, running, and then the play action game off of it. You know, those two things, I think they get a lot of big plays that way, and you know, anyhow, so they're doing a really good job.
Bob, I looked at the Big 12 stats yesterday. There's only 3 quarterbacks, I think, that are averaging 200 passing yards a game, and 2 of them play for Tech. How different has it been defensively just playing in this league this year?
Yeah, it's been different, but I think I've always said I think, you know, about in any league, you know, the quarterbacks are the toughest to defend. You know, when you're facing really good quarterbacks, it's going to strain the defense. And we just had a transition here with a lot of new ones, and but you see all of them, they'll continue to get better, and next year, the year after, all of a sudden you know what I mean, it gets harder and harder the more experience they get.
4 years ago, you guys were kind of a mess physically, especially on offense. I think you were 3rd or 4th center going into the OSU game, and your guys really.
Well, we moved a tight end, a 3rd-team tight end, to offensive tackle for the game. He had never played tackle.
Your guys really
on Thursday. On Thursday, because Trent got hurt on Wednesday.
Right.
It's like, you have to be kidding. And anyway.
It was impressive. I'm sure.
No,
the question is, I mean, you guys, that team showed you something. They persevered, beat OSU, and then won your bowl game despite all the holes. Do you get any kind of a sense of, based on what you did in Manhattan Saturday, what you've got coming up, that this group can do something similar?
Absolutely, we're excited about it, and going to do all we can to finish strong and be ready to play, of course. And that, you know, and that win last week only helped that, you know, to show that we can overcome this, and we're excited about it, definitely.
Bob, do you think the way Trevor's played recently, maybe you're a little smarter than some people thought after, I think it was the Tulsa game? A lot of people said that it was one of the dumbest things they'd ever seen, that you made the mistake of starting Trevor Knight.
You know what, people, I don't have any opinions on other people's opinion. At the end of the day, we watch these guys every single day, and we've seen, you know, now maybe some people are seeing some of what we've seen, you know, through these, you know, years working with these guys, and at the end we're going to do what we feel is right for the team, and give us the best opportunity to win, and so that, you know, the opinions of the outside world change on a weekly basis, you know, so.
One thing I wanted to ask you, Tyler Evans wasn't out on senior day. Has something changed with his status? Is he?
Tyler's going to be able to return next year. He hasn't had a redshirt year. Or is this? No, they granted him another one because he's had back-to-back years. Yeah. So he wants to come back and finish next year.
And I guess Corey's appeal has been denied by the Big 12, but you're still working through channels on that?
Yes.
How long will that take, you think? You know?
Hopefully we'll know sometime around the holidays or right after. Yeah, that's what we're hoping for.
You mean the New Year? You don't mean Thanksgiving?
Yeah, no, not this holiday. Yeah, Christmas that time. All right, thank you.